Alrighty. No, I did not go far. It's pretty embarrassing. Jeez, what the hell? I don't know what I did wrong, but okay. I don't know what's going on with this rod. Let me get up. Usually this creek is a lot of fun to fish, but I don't see any fish right now. I don't know if you just enjoy the view, but hopefully we catch something. Very strange. Very strange. Usually I do get a bunch of fish here. I'm fishing in Jersey. Hi, Cody. I'm assuming you're from Florida. I came here, I thought I was going to I just started, and I think usually there's much more vegetation here and more fish, but something's not right. We'll see what happens though. You never know. Hi. You guys hear that chopper? Well, believe it or not, that's a chopper that patrols the Trump Bedminster Golf Club where he stays. We're about 6 miles, 7 miles away from the Trump's golf course, and it's either going to be Secret Service or New Jersey State Police patrolling the area. You're going to hear a lot of those probably. But, you know, I live in this area, so I'm kind of used to it. Don't worry, I'm not getting attacked. Hi, Ida. Yeah, we do have a ton of smallmouth in Jersey. We do have a ton of smallmouth bass. Usually in bigger rivers. Here, this is all dominated by bluegills and largemouth. But for some reason, I don't see much fish. I just had my polarized glasses. Usually you come up and this is a pretty secluded spot. Nobody knows about this place. And I usually fish it pretty successfully. But today, I don't see much action here. Yeah, I was actually in Florida. I was in the Panhandle. Beautiful place. People are so nice there. I fished for, what is it, trout. You guys have saltwater trout, and caught a bunch of those catfish. A bunch of pigfish. What else I remember? Yeah, the fishing is so good in Panhandle. I can see some people completely surviving off just eating off the land there. I know you have a tilapia problem in Florida. Oh shit. We're gonna leave it be. If I get a bite, I think I just cast it into a bit of a tree, but you know what? If we get a fish, it's gonna come down. Yeah, saltwater cast, that's what we were catching. I saw some guy eating them, but we were just like, we had no means of, we stayed at somebody's Airbnb. I didn't want to start cooking fish there, so I don't get yelled at. But yeah, man, those saltwater catfish, they're like, they'll eat everything on the bottom. Let's try and catch it. We did catch 2 small fluke. In Jersey, our main fishing right now is fluke, and we have a striper season coming in about a month. I'm just doing some creek fishing with worms. Nothing special. I don't know, yesterday's stream I got a ton of fish, but today I don't want to oversell myself. Today might be a different story. Because I don't see any fish. I don't know where all the fish went. I don't know, let me put more worm. I'm even gonna walk around a little bit. I have a couple lines in the water. But yeah, this seems pretty tough today. I know I'm probably not gonna be catching much fish, so I apologize in advance. Let me get up. Man, where did all the fish go? Hi, Moritz. Fluke. Fluke is like the flounder, you know, that flatfish that lays on the bottom of the ocean, and I think I caught them in Florida, so I know you guys have them. I think you call them flounder. Out here in Jersey, we call them flounder or fluke, or if you're Italian, you call them flounder. Yeah, but this is tough, man. I have so much action in this creek, and today I just came here and there's nothing. I just don't see any fish. We had a pretty serious drought here in Jersey. Nope, I got nothing. So yeah, I thought this is a pretty secret spot. Nobody knows about this place. It's pretty hard to get to. Usually I get a bunch of fish here, but today I don't see any fish in the water. Usually you'll see them. I just saw a turtle, that's it. Let me go check. We saw a turtle and we saw a Secret Service helicopter hover over us coming from Trump's golf course. Let's see. Damn. This is rough. This is rough, man. There's literally no action. Let's try. Yeah, yesterday's stream was fun. I was trying to catch an eel. I caught one. But before I caught one, I caught like a dozen bluegills. I caught a turtle by accident. I caught a, what else did I catch yesterday? I caught a suckerfish. But right now, I don't see any fish. It's really bothering me. I don't know. I'm just fishing with worms because in the creek, it's hard to fish with, you can fish with little jigs. I don't know if you ever tried those Berkeley tubes, the atomic tubes. You get like 3 for like $5 or $6. Those are good for creeks. Man, this is rough. Usually there's so much action here. I don't know where all the fish went. I'm in Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. I'm fishing pretty close to Bedminster. They were supposed to have rain, so I got excited and ran out here. But it seems like it's just like, where did all the fish go, man? That's what I feel like. I haven't seen a single one. I might pack cop and move it in a different location, which is under the bridge. No, it's not 2 inches. It's about, wait, we're getting bites. Hold on. I do have a line stuck in the tree. Give me a sec. This is promising. I was getting bites. Maybe there was an eel nibbling on it. Let's see what we got. Yeah, the worm's gone, which is a good thing. But yeah, no, it's pretty deep here. Like I said, it's a pretty secret spot. Nobody really knows about this place, but it gets done. It's like 2-3 feet sometimes. Usually catch a ton of fish here. It's all gone. Man, it's tough. Let's put a big old night crawler on. Maybe that'll put some scent in the water. Yeah, on days like these, if I want to catch some fish, I target everything that I can. All right, this night crawler. Only in the United States you can get a night crawler that's the size of a Costco hot dog. Hold on, let me throw this out there and check the stream. Jeez, I'm the unluckiest guy today. I think I just tangled my line. Hold on. All right, well, today's definitely not going as well as yesterday. I'm gonna have to fix my rod. Let me get this out there. All right, got it out there. Let me check what you guys are writing. Hi, Joella. Yeah, but Florida fishing, everything I see is like, Florida fishing is awesome based on everything I see online. Is Hoot, do you guys know that guy, Hoot Fishing? He's pretty funny. I like him. He got a lot of character to him, which I think is why people watch his videos. Yeah, I just made a bird's nest on my reel. Oh, what's this? We're gonna get a fish. We got one. Let's see what we got. All right, who got the money on the bluegill? I got money on the bluegill. No, it's a sucker fish. No, it's a pass. Damn. I just went through. Nice. All right. Please don't be hooked deep. No, he's good. I'll be able to release him. Yeah, nice little largemouth bass. All right, let me get my tool. Finally, at least a fish. All right, let's get this guy released. Hold on, buddy, I got you. All right, I'm gonna have to go through the gill and take the hook out. Don't worry, we're not gonna hurt you. Yeah, sometimes if they're hooked deep, you kind of have to go through the gills. Hold on. I almost got you, man. Doing some largemouth bass surgery. Don't want to push it too hard. Here we go. All right, buddy, you're all good. All right, so we did get a baby largemouth bass. Off he goes. All right, he swam off, just in case you're wondering. All right, well, I guess we got something. No, it's not my first time fishing. But I'm not a professional fisherman. I just fish for fun. I'm actually just I guess you would say an Uber driver or like a limo driver. So whenever I have downtime before my kids come home, if I don't have any jobs, I'll go out there, do a little bit of fishing. But yeah, I'm not like a pro. All right. Hold on. Well, we'll see, Ben. I mean, what else can I do? I don't keep any fish and I release them the best way I can when I catch them. Sometimes I go through the gills and, you know, do my best. All right. Gotta fix my rod real quick. Somehow I managed to create a bird's nest. Hold on. All right, here we go. By the way, if you're in Walmart next time, get a pair of Rapala scissors. They're like $4. Totally worth it. Mine have been staying sharp for a while. I'm just trying to fix one rod real quick. I don't know why I had a beard on it. Once I do it, I'll get mobile again. So yeah, going through the gill sometimes is the only chance to give a fish a fighting chance. I usually fish with gulp minnows, and as you they're not huge, so sometimes by accident I'll get a big largemouth bass. And if a big largemouth bass bites a 2.5-inch gulp minnow, you know that's going down deep. And that's actually why I actually found these while trout fishing in the water. And I love these because these are very thin. They have these gator clips, so you can just clip them on the hook, and then you can work with the hook. So you go through the gills, and it's pretty good. Like I sometimes fish spots for hours, and I haven't seen any fish, float up. But look, at the end of the day, there's so much largemouth bass in this waterway. It drains into a reservoir that even if it does not make it, it doesn't really affect the population that much. There are dudes out here that'll come and catch every one of them and eat them because I don't think there's a limit on largemouth bass in Jersey. But yeah, some guys will eat all of them. And that's kind of unfortunate, but hey, that's their right. All right, the bigger question is, where did I put my hook? Here it is. Yeah, but this is basically my stream setup from yesterday with the rods and everything. I was fishing for eel. I got one. Oh yeah, in UK, but you guys love carp fishing in UK, right? I know big time carp fishermen, and catfishing too is big in UK. I think there's that like famous catfish that Luke from the Outdoor Boys, he flew out to UK to fish. I might be wrong, but I think I remember seeing him as gigantic, beautiful catfish in some private lake that he caught. He talked about it a lot. But I do notice that UK fishermen are like super professional. I've seen them fishing in Iceland, and man, they're like, I think they're dressed like he had $10,000 worth of gear on him when he was fishing for trout. It was cool to see. All right, so very little fish. Let's see what we can do. I'm telling you, usually like people don't come to this spot. When I come here, there's just like bluegills everywhere. But today's guess is not my day. Do any of you guys fish with bread? Some guy came into my stream yesterday from Hawaii, and he told me they fish with bread. And I kind of dismissed it, but then I was thinking, I mean, is that a good carp bait, or you can catch other fish on it? Nice. Pete, 70-pound carp, that's crazy. Have you ever heard of a guy called iFish? He fishes a lot for carp. I have two little boys, so carp fishing will not work for me, mostly because they just don't have the patience for it. This is crazy. There's like no fish here at all. which is kind of sad that I came here to do the stream. We did catch a largemouth bass, but I guess we're just gonna sit and wait. I apologize. I'm really surprised. Hopefully there's nothing better in the water this year. But there's absolutely zero fish here. We haven't had much rain in Jersey. Hi, Adam. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of worms and wait. Because if they're coming in from the reservoir goes that way. Sometimes I'll put my kayak here to get to the reservoir. But if they're coming out from the reservoir, they're definitely gonna run into some of my worms. But I'm just a little happy that there's no fish here. Let's check. Yeah, but once my kids grow up, when I go fishing with my 6-year-old, if he doesn't catch a fish in the first like 15 minutes, it's tough. He understands. That's why sometimes it's better to go fishing on the surf in Atlantic Ocean, because at least he can play around in the waves. Man, this is crazy. Usually there's so much action here. That makes me wonder. Yeah, so yesterday I was fishing a deeper pool. I might actually pick all this up and head there. We'll definitely catch some bluegills. Maybe I should do that. I don't know if you guys are gonna be, it's probably gonna be like a good 5-minute walk. If anybody's gonna stay in the stream. Let's try this for a couple more minutes. But this is just dead. I mean, I don't know if you can see it through my ugly stick polarized glasses, but here. There's no fish here. Usually there's a ton. Oh man, I was like saving this place for a good stream. But yeah, we had no rain for the past 6 weeks. All right, I'm gonna start packing up and I'm gonna move. There's a spot probably 5-minute walk, maybe last 3-minute walk. And I'll definitely catch some fish there. It's under the bridge. So there might be some motion over top of me. All right, let's go. This is pretty sad. Yeah, if you're 12, my older son is 12, and if you start fishing at that age, it's awesome. When I was a young kid, I had like a attention problem, so my parents would just bring me to a lake, and I would sit there all day. And man, that's some of my best memories. It definitely calmed me down. Yeah, if you can go fishing at 12, especially your pops or whoever is, your family member or friend, you're always gonna have those memories, man. I'm not fishing with any expensive rods because I just want to grab something out of my garage. I'm not gonna bring all my expensive ultralight gear to just do some, creek fishing. So I'm sorry if I'm fishing with a $40, $50 rod. I don't know if you guys have a Facebook Marketplace where you're from, but man, in New Jersey, Facebook Marketplace, you can find some crazy cheap stuff. Like I found a St. Croix salmon rod a couple of weeks ago for $5. People just don't know what they have in Jersey. There's so much money here, and people move in and out all the time for jobs in New York City. There's a lot of movement. College kids come here. I'd recommend checking out your Facebook Marketplace for some fishing stuff. All right, I'm gonna start packing up. I'm gonna move. It might actually be only a 3-minute walk. I'm gonna move my spot because I don't see any action here. I don't want to sit here and just stare at the water. Although it is very pretty here. Man, I can't believe this. There's like, I used to bring my kid here with his friends and we'd catch fish nonstop. He's dead. I'm going after anything. Bluegills, bass. Yesterday I was eel fishing, but while I was fishing for eel under a bridge, I was also throwing out, bait just for like panfish. Bluegills, caught a stockfish. All right, let's tread through this. All right. I gotta walk like this so I don't get my rods all tangled up. Man, I can't believe this. This is zero fish. There's like a hole right there that always holds fish. There's nothing there. It's like somebody came and just like netted all of that. You want to see something cool? There's an iron ore here. You see how the water is rusty? There's actually a deposit of iron that is surfacing, and it gives the water this color. It's not toxic. It just kind of like opened up right there. All right, how do I do this without killing myself? Damn. All right. I feel like Lewis and Clark expedition. Yeah, you can see like nobody comes here. It's just dead zone. Take this off. Hold on. All right, you see this? When we do have our storms, that's a beautiful weeping willow that just broke. You see, like, whenever we have rain, it runs through here. It just takes everything out. All right. Ow, 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 ow. Rosebush. All right. Oh, I see a bass right there. Hold on. Let's see if we can hook him. Let's see if we can hook some fish. It's a tight spot. Yeah, so a lot of stuff that you can buy in U.S. Mostly because people have so much crap. You know, you can buy motorcycles here for $500 that don't run, that people don't know how to fix. You can buy fishing rods, stuff like that. Let's see if we can land one. Can't believe how dead this is. All right, you guys want a bluegill? Watch this. Oh, here they come, an army of bluegills. You just eat my worm. Man, you're gonna be embarrassing me like that on live. Hold on. Guess I'm gonna set up here. Just gonna get a little piece. Oh man, I was not expecting to change the prices. All right, let's do this. Ooh, had a customer. Oh, here they all come. Here they come. Hold on. Man, I don't know what it is today. Usually if you come here after rain, I don't know if you can see them. Maybe it's the same fish I was catching yesterday. He's just looking at it. No. Should we try a jighead? Let's try a jighead. Have some decent jigheads. Yeah, in Jersey, usually I don't even fish with worms, but when it's like this, I will. All right, let's see what we got. All right. This is called a nuclear chicken. It's a little grub made by a trout magnet. Just put it on. See what we can do. I appreciate the likes. I know it's not my best fishing day. I'm just kind of, I had an hour and 20 minutes that I could fish, so I got out here. But obviously, can't guarantee I'll catch a ton of fish. See, that's a little crooked. Let's redo it. When you put on a trout magnet, you want to make sure it's completely centered so it doesn't swim weird. Okay, that's a little better. Let's try it. No guarantees though. Oh, he's eating it. It's amazing how slow it is today. Let me check the stream while I'm doing this. There's about like 2 or 3 little largemouth bass sitting there, but they just don't want it. It's like trout fishing or something. Oh man. Yeah, last week I have a video. I had a stream with just exactly this setup, and I caught a bunch of fish. Put a perch on a trout magnet, which is rare. Oh, look at those bass. Okay. All right, hold on. I don't know if you can see them. There's two big bass over there. I'm gonna try. Hold on. What if they're like worms? I didn't know there was bass this big here. Hold on. Yeah, but the fish is like super lethargic right now. I've never seen it like this. All right, cast it out there. Put a spike in. All right, here we go. Let me check the screen. Yeah, I can hook a weightless. We can do that. Well, basically that's a jig head, but I can do weightless. The problem is the fish is like super lethargic. Even if they're not biting trout magnet and warm, that's a little strange. Let me cast another line in just for fun. Hold on, let me check something. Let's try worm again. This is crazy. nuts. Yeah, this is probably the worst day I've had fishing this year. I don't know what's going on. It's supposed to rain today for the first time in the past 3 weeks probably. So maybe the temperature change or like the pressure change. I don't know what's going on. But the fact that the bluegill doesn't eat worm is pretty wild. That is wild. Hold on, we got a fish. All right, who's this? First fish of the day. He decided to prove me wrong. All right, there you go. Okay, we just missed his eye, which is good. All right, well, here you go, Mr. Bluegill. Jump up, buddy. Wow. All right, well, at least I got something. We got one bluegill, one bass. I'm gonna check the stream after I cast. I'm sorry if I'm not responding right away. Man. The jig head is 1/64th. Let me scroll down. Yeah, the bluegill definitely showed up. Man, but I saw some bass around here, and they were not small. It looked like a 1 or 2 pounder. Well, more realistically, I'd probably say they're a pounder. How you doing, Jamie? Hi, Tolly. Thanks for joining the stream. So I can see like a huge, it's either a bass or a suckerfish on the bottom there, but they just don't care. You can throw it right on top of them. I know a bass will eat worms, especially in the spring, but they just absolutely do not care. Forget about trying to entice them with a jig head. Here comes bluegill. There's like 5 of them there. They're just looking at it. Oh, we got one. That's a decent size. Who's that? Oh, look at that. That's a bass, baby. All right, and this one is hooked properly. All right. That's a smallmouth. Oh, let's not abuse him too much. Yeah, that's a nice. No, is that a largemouth? It is a largemouth, my bad. There you go. Let's not keep him out of the water. Let's get him out there. All right, well, at least something. I'm glad he didn't swallow it. Large, baby largemouth bass. Jeez. Okay, how about this? So the reason I'm here too is because it's pretty close to the parking lot, which, you know, like I said, I do work on call. I might get a call from a customer asking me to take him to the airport or from the golf course or from a hotel. So during the day, I can't really like venture out there and be 1 hour away from my car, because at the end of the day, I do still need to make money. Like yesterday, I was fishing and I got lucky because somebody requested me and I was able to get to my car pretty quickly. Obviously, I need to run home, change, make sure my car is perfect, stuff like that. Look at this. I don't know, can you see that thing? Hold on, where's my... I don't know if you can see the bass, but they're right there. You see them? Look at the rod tip. You see them? That's a pretty good sized bass. I would not like catching that. Oh, hey, I appreciate that, Tali. Yeah, so I was wondering how I can comment on the stream, but I realized that I can't do that until I reach a certain amount of subscribers. I'm new to all of this. Just me and my kid go out fishing, and he told me to start posting videos on YouTube. That was his idea, and my idea. Man, this is slow. This is painful. Next time I'll go out in a kayak, if I can do a live stream out of a kayak. There's spots where you can just cast and get fish, especially if you're fishing with worms. This is pretty wild. How you doing, Chili Dog? Yeah, I know, that bass is pretty big. It's like, it's not humongous. I don't know if they look bigger in the water, but that was a good sized bass. I actually didn't know they were big here. All right, let's do it again. I'm basically gonna reserve to fishing with worms again, just like yesterday, because I don't get it. Maybe, I'm not sure if Friday I can go out a little further. Then I can fish with jig heads, gulp minnows, and whatever. All right, that looks like a clump of worms with no hook. Let's try it. Just drag it along the wall. Well, there might be a piece of worm in the grass because I was digging these worms. Some of them I dig myself. Some of them, if I'm lazy, I'll buy. But one of the cans I dug myself. That's why there's a piece of grass in there. Hold on. Yeah, I know. It's just like right there. Oh, oh no, wait, hold on. He's gonna come back. Jeez. Man, they're messing with me. Coming back for it. Hold on. Jeez, man. I feel like I'm fishing with craps for those togfish, which are like impossible to catch. Maybe they know I'm fishing. Yeah, this is fun. Not. Hey, I appreciate the likes. I know I'm not catching much fish. This is kind of, slow. But thanks. Cast it to the other end. Let's see what happens. No, so I can actually see the bites. They're such tiny fish that they just kind of like nibble it off the hook, kind of like crabs. They're like the fish that is biting like this big. And I already have like a size 8 hook. But I'll try it. I'm basically kind of dragging it along the bottom. Oh, we got a fish. What we got? See, that's the usual suspect, Mr. Bluegill. That's how big they are. Tiny. We're fishing in New Jersey, United States. Okay, what's going on, buddy? All right, there he is, Mr. Bluegill. So yesterday I caught an eel, and I brought him home, and I kind of, one guy on the stream was like, he's too little, let him go. And I kind of thought about it, and I looked at the eel, and he was right. I let him go. I decided to spare the, he was good eating size, but decided to spare him. Usually let all my fish go, but eels, man, they're so tasty. If you smoke them, so I just have a jig head hook. It's a 1/64 ounce, so it kind of like sinks itself. I can try fishing with no, but I already have it on, so I'd rather not change it yet. You can jig it a little bit. Man, this is so slow. Hold on, let me try a different spot. And of course, I lost my worm again. So basically, I think these guys adapted to me. They know I'm here. They know I'm gonna have worms, and they just kind of pick it off. Let's do it again. I wonder if a lot of people fish this spot. I'm gonna get a bigger worm. This way they have to swallow it. Just get a piece of it. Yeah, yesterday was much more action. Yeah, I do fish, but we don't have I do have kayaks, but if I fish those, I made a bunch of videos this year. I just haven't uploaded them yet. I went fishing in Delaware River. I caught a bunch of fish. I fish ocean, surf fishing, but I don't do live streams. I record a bunch of stuff on my GoPro, but it's really hard to put together like a good video. I just gotta try harder. Because if I make a video, it's either like 40 minutes long and it has too much stuff, or it's like 5 minutes long and it's just like not properly made. It's almost like catfishing here, man. It's so slow. I'm actually going away with my kids for the weekend. I'm gonna take them camping for 2 days, and we're gonna do some trout fishing. I'm going up to New York, a bit of upstate, and hopefully I'll have some videos up. Last time I caught a beautiful brown trout there. Oh, fish. All right, let's see. Oh, came off. All right, not bad. Customer number 2. Man, they're just like looking at it. It's amazing. But next time I do a stream, I'm gonna make sure make sure I don't pick a spot and start a live stream until I see fish there. Because today was interesting. Showed up to a place that I thought was gonna hold a ton of fish, and ended up having nothing except that one bass. Bites. Fish. Let's see what we got. Usual suspects. I hope nobody's tired of me catching bluegills, and I apologize if you are. Almost fell into the water. All right, here he is, Mr. Bluegill. Yeah, we go camping with my kids. I started doing that a lot when I rage quit for my financial job. I basically became like a outdoorsy kind of guy. We love camping. We actually bought a cheap Eurovan, and instead of actually camping, we stay in the van, which is not bad. Kids appreciate it more. We can go on more camping trips. But I found this van on Facebook Marketplace for like $1,200, and I was told it has a bad motor. It was just making a sound. I fixed it, and we've been camping in that van for the past like 3 years almost. It's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna say it this way: if you want to try camping, you can sleep if you have a decent sized car. You can try sleeping in your car for the first time. It's really not that bad. A lot of people I go camping with, they're in their 40s. They don't want to stay in the tent, so they'll just sleep in the car, and it's not bad. Obviously, camping in a tent is more genuine, but if you want to dip your toes, just rent a camping spot and sleep in your car. Next time you come, try to put up a tent. Car is very helpful, especially when it rains. I've been to some camping trips where people are just like floating in their tent, and I'm in the car with no problems. You can buy like a cheap caravan, sleep in that thing. All right, let's see. Man. Wait, I'm getting bites. What the hell? Hold on, I gotta check this. Strange. Probably a bluegill. Yeah, but kayak fishing is my favorite. You can go to spots where no people can go with a boat or by foot, and sometimes that's some of the best fishing you can do. All right, let me check the stream real quick. So yeah, like I have a ton of lures, but like I probably have enough lures and bobbers and everything to last my grandkids. But some days you just like come out here and like with a worm and a. Hold on, wait. We got action. Hold on, I'm right under the bridge, so nah, probably something small. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cast it onto that bridge. Yeah, I have a ton of fishing stuff. I'm not like I don't shy away from spending money on fishing stuff, but I have kids, and sometimes, and I take my friends' kids fishing. Sometimes you don't want to bring your best rods, because I've had kids break my rods, and you take your friends' kids fishing, you're not really gonna get mad, but you're gonna learn. You learn to, if you have kids around, you fish with cheaper gear. Let me check the stream. Hi, Felix. Yeah, so I didn't camp a lot when I was younger. Just no opportunity to do that. But what I'm going to tell you is that if you want to try out camping, you're a little older, try camping in the car. And if you like it, then you can, like, if you really like it, you can buy caravans between, I think, 03 and 08. Probably some of the most reliable, cheapest vehicles you can find on the market, and they're spacious. There's something about that year of caravan. You can probably find them for like $2-3 grand, and you can make it into your camping rig. Like I said, I have a $1,200 van that's been loyal to me for 3 years. I think I put about 6,000 miles on it since I bought it. Most of them were just trips to camping. And it's a cool Volkswagen. So if you're broken down, people will help you. There's always like a Volkswagen guy that knows how to work on those things. But yeah, you should definitely try camping. It's awesome. Yeah. So today I see people. Oh, fish. I do respect that I should change up my fishing setup, but I'm telling you right now that it's really tough going. And I'm probably only gonna be fishing for the next 30 minutes or so. So I'll be more prepared next time I go fishing. I'll set up different things. I'll try lures. There it is. The culprit. Are you eating all my bait? Okay, yes you are. Yeah, I'll be more organized next time. It's just today I came to a spot that I thought was going to be absolutely on fire. And that did not happen. I'm also kind of sitting under the bridge. Okay, we got one. Got something bigger. What the? Yeah. I got the good old branch fish. It's definitely something bigger. That's a good one. Good thing about a branch fish, it never fights back. Hold on. Got the good old branch fish. All right, let's throw it out so I don't do it again. That's funny. But yeah, you'll catch some branch fish. Almost as good as a rockfish. I don't know if you can hear people walking over us, but they have no idea I'm here. I'm basically sitting on there like a walking bridge in the park, and nobody can see me. That's why I'm trying to stay quiet, not to spook people, because they're going to be wondering who the hell is under the bridge, talking to himself. I wonder if people fish this spot. It's pretty decent, but not today. Nope. Tiny bluegills again. Same problem. There he is. Yeah. All right. I know you're probably tired of me catching bluegills, but next time I'm going to go to a different spot. We'll catch some crappie. We'll catch some bigger bluegill. And maybe we'll catch a pickerel. I'm going to check my lines real quick. Yeah, bluegill are fun. I'm actually really happy that bluegill exists around where we live because they're just always hungry and they'll always eat a worm on a day like this. So if you take your kids fishing, it's never a bad trip, because if your kids don't want to fish and you have kids, you're definitely not going to be going fishing. Yeah, that's why. But yeah, it's a nice spot. The only problem with this spot is that there's people walking over me and they have no idea I'm here, so somebody can call the cops wondering that there's like some homeless person under the bridge, which will definitely happen in a place like this, because we're in Somerset County, New Jersey, which is probably one of the richest counties. Definitely top 15 richest counties in the U.S. People don't really fish here that much. All right. This is amazing. This has been out there for 35 minutes. And it's just the same way I put it there, that's how it is. This is a little scary. The same way I left it. That's crazy. Just a piece of worm sitting there with all the fish around it. That's wild. Yesterday we were at least catching a bunch of fish. All right, let's see what else we got. What time is it? It's almost 2. I'm probably gonna fish for another 20 minutes before I turn into a pumpkin. Actually, I need to see if I don't have a job coming up. Sam, well, I haven't caught many leaves yet, but you bring up a good point. In the fall, when I go trout fishing in ultralight gear, I catch a lot of leaves in the river, man. You probably, if you do it, you know, because they basically, your line gets caught on them, and eventually your hook kind of pulls up on them, and there you go, big old leaf. And if you trout fishing and you haven't had a bite, you 1000% tell yourself that's a fish. Ends up being a big old leaf. But yeah, trout fishing is good here. They stock trout in the rivers, and I usually end up with at least 20 trout a year that I take home. And in the fall, they stock big ones. You can get close to 2-pound fish. In the spring, they stock small ones. But trout fishing in Jersey is a lot of fun. All the spots are made public where they put the fish in. And I'll definitely take you fishing there if you keep watching my streams, because a lot of streams have good coverage. I can live stream from there. Man, I'm kind of like disappointed with this fishing day today. Had big hopes. It's kind of like being an Uber driver and expecting a big old tip from a guy with a nice house. Usually that doesn't happen. Man, they're just abusing me here. The worm's gone. Bluegill abuse. But yeah, if you can like this stream, I'd really appreciate it. Yesterday was nuts. Yesterday I got 100 likes, which never saw in my life before. But if you don't like it, I don't blame you. It's kind of slow. All I'm doing is just catching bluegills on worms. And I usually bring my nice ultralight rod, but when I go in the woods like this, I just bring short rods. I have a nice short rod too, but I'm just fishing with a tiny rod I bought at Dick's Sporting Goods. But I do have some cool ultralight setups. It's basically the same setup I would take if I was fishing with my kid. All right, last hope. Yeah, gotta watch the bridge. Got the fish. All right, let's see who it is. Any guesses? I think they're getting smaller as we go. Look at this guy. Buddy, you're good enough to be buzzbait. He's so tiny, but aggressive. Bluegills like that actually make amazing catfish bait. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes when I go fluke fishing and I don't have any luck at the ocean, I'll switch up I'll bring a couple of sandworms and I'll switch up to a sabiki rig and I'll just start catching like whatever bites just to not feel completely defeated. But right now, fluke season is coming to a close here, and I'm trying to get out tomorrow. If I do stream tomorrow, it's gonna be from the ocean. Hope my wife don't find out. Yeah, I really don't go to the ocean by myself, but I've done it once this year. I like to take my kids there because it's about an hour away from where I live. All right, these are all the worms I dug up myself. Let's see, tiny. I'm gonna try to get to the ocean tomorrow. Watch me get to the ocean and somebody will call in a big job for me and I'll miss it. But yeah, fluke fishing for me has been tough this year. Some guys do really well. You got to go more south, so it becomes like a 2-hour driving trip, and I cannot do that. I caught about, I'd say, 100 flukes this year, but they were all short. How you doing? Oop. Hi, Cooper, and hi, Sussy. We're just doing some light fishing here. Yeah, I'm gonna say 15 more minutes and call it a day. That's amazing. I have a ton of fish here. I see them. I have worms, which is probably the easiest bait to catch fish on, and there's like zero action. But yeah, you know what? If you have a fishing rod and you have like a Google Maps, you can just sometimes find a place that nobody knows how to get to. That's what me and my kid did. There's a ton of people living around here. Jersey is the most populated state in the United States, and we found places that people haven't been to in years. And sometimes I won't even do videos from there, just so I don't want them to be found because everybody's gonna it's like shooting fish in a barrel there. It just takes a while to get there. You just follow the streams. So if you live you feel like there's no fishing spots, find a creek on Google Maps and follow it. And the satellite map will actually show you like the deep pools. You'll be able to see color change in the water and on satellite. And that's kind of how we found our spots. I wonder if the fishing's going to change up when it rains. Because when we had the crazy storms, oh, we got one. All right. There he is. When we have crazy storms, the water gets almost to touching that bridge. So there is some crazy flow here. And you can see like some trees out there. that were brought over here by the storms. All right, where did you go? Okay, now it's the rescue mission. Jeez, man, that's how I get into poison ivy with you guys. Thanks, man. God damn it. Hold on. There he is. All right, don't do that again. What is it? I was eel fishing like 4 or 5 days ago, and I got into some poison ivy. And yeah, now my hands are completely covered in blisters. Poison ivy is no fun. How you doing, Pawan? And Pesher. DU, where is that from? All right, I'm gonna say 10 more minutes I can fish. Maybe I can catch one more fish. All right, let's see. You can get another one. Catching tiny bluegills. That's the problem with fishing on the bridge. You're gonna hear all the cars. Bluegills are those kind of fish that if you actually give your rig a little bit of motion, they're more excited about it. Sometimes. Next time we will not be fishing with worms, I promise. How you doing, Hagen? And Texan and Tagnukung. Where is that from? I think I cast it over one of my lines. Don't want to do that. Nope, too small. It's funny. Usually the stream goes that way, but it's so dead that I can see the leaves floating the other way. It's pretty ridiculous. Man, the bluegills got me. Let's try something different. Maybe we can catch a bass. Let's see what I got in my little thing here. I actually caught a bass on this last time. This jig head should be good enough for that. Let's try it. At this point, I'm just having fun. I'm gonna leave soon, so maybe next time I'll put together a bass rod with some like real baits. Oh, there's a bass right there. Oh man, you think he's gonna be excited? Let's try it. That'll be hilarious. Okay. Hold on. No. Oh man, I had something. Jeez. I had a good bite. You know what? Let me pull these rods out. Have some fun. I definitely had a good tug. Now I caught a leaf. Definitely need a heavier jig head. Hold on, I have an idea. I do have a bass rod over here with a heavier jig head. Let me pull it out. Hold on. I'm just gonna reel up my lines and just use a bass rod. Absolutely zero. It's crazy. Fish food. Let me reel up another rod real quick. There you go. Anybody want me to catch a leaf? I got one. All right, so I think we caught about so we caught 2 largemouth bass that were tiny. And we caught about at least a dozen bluegills again. So that wasn't too bad. All right, let's let this guy go. Let's see, what can we catch a bass on? I really should be going, but let me see what I have. Oh, look what I got. That looks pretty good, right? I haven't bass fished with this thing in a while. All right, all you bass fishermen, is this a decent setup? Now, I don't know where he is right now. Good afternoon, Tina. Hi, all of you guys. It's kind of hard to read all the names because I literally have my phone 3 inches away from my face. Let's try it. I'm just a crawfish. I haven't fished with a crawfish in a long time. I remember I got to brush up on my skills. I should probably not have it set up like this. I'm just gonna drag it through the water column. It's finally starting to rain. Yeah, we haven't seen rain for almost a month. So the reason I don't bass fish too much, I don't target specifically bass, is because in Jersey, if you fish a lake or a reservoir, by about end of June, it's completely overgrown. And like I said, I fish with my kids a lot. It's tough because all our lures are now covered in weed. We can't, sometimes you have bad bass fishing days. I just want to keep my kids fishing, so that's why I'm not a big time bass fisherman. We don't have a boat, so we target all species. My kid loves to eat crappie, so we target crappie a lot. I mean, the water is not actually that dirty. This is just a creek. There's leaves on top of it, obviously, because we're in mid-September. But you have not seen dirty water in Jersey. Some of the rivers, you can't even see, 2 inches ahead of you. This is actually a pretty clean stream. It's just that we haven't had rain. That's how it's going to be. Yeah. Unfortunately, not having much luck. Oh, there was a bass interested in it. Let's try it again. Yeah, today's just not my day. I've actually never heard of this rod. I got it in a bunch of other rods on Facebook. It's Cardinal 400 by Abu Garcia, but it's really well made. I mean, at the end of the day, this rod probably cost me like $10, but for some reason we really like it, and it's a pretty rod. All right. Well, I got to 86 likes. I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. I know I'm not, the most proficient fisherman out there, but at least I'm being honest about it. Hi to everybody who joined. I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow, and I'm gonna fish Atlantic Ocean right across from New York City. I'm trying to get out there, probably around 1 p.m. Eastern time, hopefully a little earlier. But yeah, the rod is here. It's a Cardinal 400. I'm gonna assume it's older, but it's really pretty. It's like a really well-made rod. I tried searching for it. I haven't found. It's made by Abu Garcia, but it's just like my friends have like $200 bass rods, and for some reason this thing is just so well made and has a perfect feel to it that this is my main rod I go bassing with. All right, guys. Yeah, you're welcome, Jay Cooper. Once again, and I appreciate Tali also to joining. I think that guy joins every stream I have, which is awesome. Thanks again, and have a great day. Thanks for watching me.